somewhat. The Department of Education in KZN has now appointed over 1,500 new teachers. In the past, unemployed teachers have taken to the streets demanding jobs. For more on this, we're joined now by the Provincial Education MEC, Sipho Hlomuka. It's great to have you with us. Thanks for coming on. Surely a victory for the classroom, if everything.
Greetings to yourself and greetings to the viewers. The victory is for all South Africans. The victory is for the sector of the sector of education. We must really appreciate all stakeholders that we have been working with in trying to stabilize the department and also trying to engage with the unemployed educators who have been raising a call to say they are unemployed and they really need an opportunity to be given to them. Hence, last year in August, we advertised plus or minus 737 posts, and of which all of them now are filled. But what is more important about it is that everyone was given opportunity to apply. Everyone was given opportunity, those who were shortlisted, to go to the interview process, and then the panel members at that level, they're able to appoint a suitable educators. However, on top of that, we've identified critical posts that we thought are more important, especially when we're dealing with maths, dealing with science, be it the physical or the social, and accounting, where there are schools that we have been saying we don't have educators at this level of grade, but also other educators at the foundation level, because we agreed that we must not only focus at the FET or at the high school level, but we must also focus at the foundation level, because if we don't produce good learners at the foundation level who are going to a high school level, that means we will have problem of learners at the high school level who might not able to read and understand with understanding, and also understand especially maths and science. We must really appreciate officials from the departments led by the HOD, but also the organized labor. SATU have been working with us, trying to deal with issues that they've raised in terms of teaching. But we must also appreciate all unions who have been trying to understand that the department is still dealing with the challenges of finances. Hence, now we're able to appoint, but we have not yet finished our process in terms of employing others. But so far, we're able to appoint more than 1,500 educators within the short space of time. And we don't want anyone who's going to disrupt teaching and learning. That's why when we saw a letter from an acting HOD of public works saying they are putting on hold of all projects, I then had to engage the department and the MEC to say, what are you saying about the learners that they don't have toilets? That means their dignity, or are compromising it. If there are challenges of government, because there's one government, let's sit in the table. We have an AGR that forced us to work together, but we must not compromise our teaching and learning. Must not compromise our learners.
No, certainly, Sipho. I'm sorry to cut you off there, but I do need to get some questions in, please. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We cannot compromise the needs of learners. But just insofar as the critical vacancies are that will be filled by these new positions, I see you've mentioned maths literacy, physical and life sciences, as well as technical subjects. But, I mean, is that enough? Should we not be prioritizing all subjects? History, for example?
No, we are prioritizing all subjects. Hence, you hear me when I said we also appointed educators at the foundation level. That means at the primary level. We know at the primary level, our educators at the foundation level, they are teaching all subjects.
I see.
We also appointed, look, yesterday, one of the schools at Kranscorp, they've raised the challenge that they have a vacant of grade 12 educator who's teaching isiZulu, and we've appointed. So irrespective of whatever subject, but it was important to indicate the scarcity skill. Hence, we are saying we made a number of appointments in maths and science and accounting. But equally so, we have already appointed also educators who are dealing with geography, who are dealing with history. But we thought it's important, look, as a country, we have a responsibility to analyze the situation and focus on the scarcity skills. Hence, mathematics and science and accounting is more of the scarcity skills that need to be considered and need to plan how to improve that.
And then, Sipho, where is the money coming from for these vacancies to be filled in a context where the Education Department in KZN was instructed by Provincial Treasury to not award any new contracts, just given the financial situation that the department is in?
No, look, we presented in the Department of Treasury last year to say these are the challenges, and we were then given a go-ahead to ensure that we don't disrupt teaching and learning as our core functions. Hence, we are still appointing our educators at the different phases, and we report to a treasurer. Indeed, the treasurer did issue a letter last week to say let's put on hold on the new infrastructure project in particular. But we are saying we understand that it's coming from the letter that was sent by an acting HOD of Public Works. And we said these are the projects that have been committed, and this project, the budget was affected by the cut that is not cut by us, but cut by the treasurer. When treasurer already on site, and there's a call that says that the department must cut, even cutting on infrastructure, which then makes us be in the difficult situation. We then agreed last year to say, well, ourselves, not by treasurer. Last year in November 25, we wrote a letter to Public Works to say they must put on hold all projects before even a treasurer. So treasurer, they are doing what we already done, because we have understand the issue of cash flow, but we are saying it can't be one size fit all. What they're going to do with a particular school which have completed infrastructure project and we have supplied mobile classroom. Then another schools they need mobile classroom, or they need a temporary toilet. That means we need to move those mobile classroom from one school to another. That means there will be a new appointment of a service provider who's going to move. I'm just making that as an example. The number of cases when tomorrow there is a tornado and it's affecting the whole school, what you need to do? We need to ensure that at least we have temporarily intervention or infrastructure in the form of a mobile classroom.
But your department does owe Public Works for the 2024-25 financial year over 600 million rand, right? Is that right?
We don't dispute owing. We're not only owing Public Works, we're owing a number of service providers because we have a contract.
So is the KZN Education Department in a financial crisis?
No, we're stable. We're like one of any entity in the government, or like any other departments. We're managing our budget. Where there are crises, that's why we issue a letter last year to say put everything on hold in terms of infrastructure, because we understand our budget, we understand our cash flow, and we have a plan how to deal with that. That's why we did that. Actually, it didn't start in November last year. We also, even in May, the department issued a letter to say to all agencies, Public Works, IDT, KOHA, and DPSA, we said, because you are our agencies, let's put everything on hold and deal with all projects that are on site. Hence, we then able to pay those contractors. Today, you know that when you receive, if you have a conditional grant, you receive your allocation in terms of how treasurer allocated and on the quarterly basis. Hence, even today, we did receive the allocation and we are going to pay public works. And the last allocation that we received, it was last year. We're not, because of the SLA that we have signed with public works, IDT and KOHAM, they understand that. So where there are challenges, you see that one is breaching the contract. You come to a table, you engage that necessary department, you will then come with the recovery plan, how to deal with it. We're not going to say, because we have a challenge here, then we're suspending everything. We can't work as if part of our responsibility is to manage crisis. If we have someone who can manage a crisis, that will not be a problem, but we need to sit down and engage with those relevant departments.
Certainly. The Provincial Education MEC, Sipho Hlomuka, in KwaZulu-Natal, the department appointing 1,500 new teachers, which is certainly good news for the province, but still questions remain about the financial stability of KZN Education Department, just given the comments by the Provincial Treasury.